Mic check, mic check. All right, cool. All right. Um, all right, cool. So everything looks good. Oh fuck. It's the wrong screen I'm trying to share. 1 second, Slacky. So it's gonna be quick through the spirit, as the title says. I am tight on time, but through the spirit, Lord willing, I create edifying lesson. And somebody gets something from it, Lord willing. First off, I want to say Barak the Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for their rule and teach well. And through the spirit balance, it was on my brain, as a young man, in this truth. You know, you get in that meditated mindset and your thoughts are rolling off one another. You just start thinking about things, you start examining yourself through the faith, things that you got to do as a man, um, making sure you're not puffed up, making sure you're good, you're humble, making sure that um, you're doing your best to please Yahweh Shemi Shai, which is Yahweh is the Father, and Bahashem means in the name in Hebrew, and Yahweh Shai is so called Jesus Christ. The world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his true name is Yahweh Shai. And when I had this meditative mindset, and it was just like one thing, it was just like balance. As a man, we go through a whole bunch of adversities. Um, and it sucks. We get scars and it hurts. We got times we're down, we got times we're up, but most time we're down. So you gotta have that focus. Actually, a scripture just came to my mind, but before that scripture, I'm gonna read this. It's Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Right. So under the heaven, this is earth under the heaven. So on earth there's um, a season and a time to every purpose. So everything that happens, it was supposed to happen, whether it was good or bad. Either it was on the right hand side or on the left hand side, right? Reading on verse 2, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. So in this truth, it's a constant war. That's another scripture. We fight not against flesh and blood, but it's like we fight not against flesh and blood, but spiritual principalities in high places. Because it's a constant war, a spiritual war, and the ones that are fighting it is the ones that have the spiritual eyes and ears, which goes back to the elect of the elected nation of Israel, right? The 144,000 and the 1/3, but chiefly the 144,000. And yeah, kind of, it's a constant breaking down, building up, winning it, losing it, you know. But it's not about we what we. I mean, it is about what we have, because it's about Yahweh Shemi Shai, and that's the best and most precious thing we have, Yahweh Shemi Shai. So I can't really say it's not what we have, carnally, but spiritually, yes, it's everything about what we have spiritually, because the scriptures talk about not. I got to get that scripture. I keep mentioning all these scriptures, and I'm not getting them. Bear with me. Which This is no, Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for your wait. Wait, is this it? Okay. Not lay up. Okay, Con. Matthew 6:19. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. See, I need the whole I need to read more. I know it's more meat on that. Let me get it. So Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust doth corrupt and where thieves break through and steal. So in this world we have to have money, right? We gotta have somewhere to live. We gotta have some heat. We gotta pay the light bill. We gotta shower. We gotta pay for the water. So I mean, so we can read, so we can study, so we can teach. So in this hell that we are in, we must go and work for this devil, right? Which is the so-called white man, which are the Edomites according to the Bible. And so we must go and work, you know. But in the midst of doing that, we often get tied up in trying to maybe do too much, and then letting money become too big in your life to where the point that you're not focusing on Yahweh Shem Shai as much as you should, and the scripture says that it's never enough, that all the work you do for Yahweh Shai, it's never enough. So we really got to have that balance. That's why I was reading that Ecclesiastes 3:1. Well, the whole chapter. But let me read this, and then I'll go back to the first scripture I was reading. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Come. Back to Ecclesiastes. A time to just Ecclesiastes 3:3. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Right. So when you're down bad, hey, it's all right. Put them prayers up. Praise Yahweh Shem Shai. Hey, I ask you Yahweh Shem Shai's name that don't take away the adversary from me, but just give me the spirit to overcome this shit. You know, understanding that the problems make me a better man as long as I can overcome this shit. And really nobody's gonna be able to. Everything's controlled by Yahweh Shem Shai. So you got to ask him. You know, time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, and a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have That's the point. So we gotta have a balance. How about Shemiel Shai first? Yeah, let me get this little money. Maybe a little side hustle. So I don't gotta kill myself, so I can have more energy and more strength for the teaching and preaching. Because this is the priority. You know, um, Khan Thwadi, how about Shemiel Shai? Let me get that scripture that came to my brain. Um, Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Right. So the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. So if your eye What does it mean for your eye to be single? It means for your eye to be focused on one thing, um, and that one thing should be Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It should be the scriptures. It should be teaching. It should be meditating, meditating in general, praying, pray without ceasing. So you should be praying all the time. Um, hey, hey, yeah. I mean, yeah, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is the priority, but we got to make sure that we're being healthy. Our diet. Making sure that hey, some brothers are a little older and stuff like that, but I know that I like to go to the gym. Yeah, that's a good peace of mind for me too. And I'm young too, so it helps me when I lift the heavy weights and I feel better. Especially in the truth, you be in the spirit, you be like ready to snap the fuck out, but you got to be able to control them emotions. Because if you're snapping out, you're gonna bug the fuck out. You're snapping out on everything. I mean, this is hell. There's no reason to be snapping out on. Just like I read the first scripture, it's a time for everything. It's a season for everything and a purpose for everything. So in due time, everything will happen when it needs to happen. You just need to stay faithful and stay faithful to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And it's not an easy task. With all these, Satan trying to trying to get to you through your girl, through your family, through your job. I mean, you caught a sickness. I mean, you're broke and you're trying to get this money. I mean, they're laying people off. And I mean, hey, this is hell, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. You know, uh, like it. Let me get a scripture on that. That's not it. Damn, what is that scripture? Nah, that's not the scripture. I guess if the Lord don't want it to come out, it's not gonna come out. All right, Khan. I mean, I got the point. I don't think there's anything left of my spirit. This wasn't, supposed to be long. Um, yeah, Khan. Gotta have the good balance. You know, it's not gonna be easy. I mean, hey, nothing good comes from something easy. At the end of the day, that's why I say, hey, prayer. Pray to Yahweh Shai, Shai, increase my strength and increase my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Hey, the Lord gonna hear you. I pray this was edifying. Uh, Shalom to the sincere, hopeful elect. Keep striving, keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.